We only have to wait about 6 days until Phase 2 of version 5.4 drops. And you know what that means? Only 6 more days until we can finally pull for Furina and Wriothesley. So how many Primogems can we expect in their phase? In this video, we will break down every single source of Primogems you can earn as a free-to-play player. Let's get into the exact calculation and see how many wishes you can realistically get. The first and most consistent source of Primogems comes from daily commissions. From March 5th to March 26th, there are exactly 21 days, and each day provides 60 Primogems when all 4 commissions are completed and the daily bonus is claimed. That adds up to a total of 1,260 Primogems just from dailies alone. It's a reliable source, and you should not underestimate playing every day. It totally adds up. Next, we have the Spiral Abyss, which will reset once during Phase 2. If you can fully clear floors 9 through 12 and collect all 36 stars, you will receive 800 Primogems. This is one of the biggest sources of free Primogems every update, but it does require strong teams and strategic play. Even if you don't get all 36 stars, earning some of the rewards is still worth it, as each chamber cleared will contribute to the total Primogem count. Now, let's talk about the events in Phase 2. There are 3 major limited-time events still running. First, the Realm of Tempered Valor event, which carries over from Phase 1 and offers 420 Primogems if you haven't completed it yet. Then there's the Invasive Fish Wrangler event, a unique fishing-themed 1 vs 1 challenge that will also provide another 420 Primogems. The third event is Real Adventure, a creative event involving photography and exploration, also rewarding 420 Primogems. If you haven't completed the Traveler's Tales Anthology chapter event from Phase 1, you can still claim 120 Primogems in Phase 2. Adding everything together, these events contribute a total of 1,380 Primogems. Another small but easy source of Primogems is the character trial runs. When Furina and Wriothesley's banners go live, their trial challenges will also be available. Completing these quick trial runs grants 20 Primogems each, for a total of 40 Primogems. It's a small amount, but since these trials take only a few minutes to complete, it's essentially free Primogems. One of the best surprise sources of Primogems will come from the version 5.5 special program livestream, where Hoyoverse will release 3 promo codes. These codes typically provide 100 Primogems each, adding up to 300. Additionally, there is usually an extra one-time redeemable code released during this period, worth around 60 Primogems. Altogether, players can expect around 360 Primogems just from redeem codes. But be warned, these codes expire quickly, usually within 24 hours, so make sure to claim them as soon as they drop. If you're scared that you might miss them, make sure to subscribe to my channel, because I always post them on here as soon as they drop. Unlike some previous updates, there are no new Archon quests, story quests, or hangout events scheduled for this phase, which means no extra Primogems from quest content. Similarly, there is no reset for Paymon's shop, as the shop will already refreshed on March 1st, meaning there are no additional intertwined fates for Stardust purchases available in this time. Sadly, there is also no Imaginarium Theater reset in that time, so we won't be getting the usual 800 Primogems from this reset. It always resets at the first of the month, together with Paymon's shop, so the positioning of Phase 2 is quite unlucky. So what's the final total? If you are completely free to play, the total number of Primogems you can earn during Phase 2 of version 5.4 adds up to about 3,840 Primogems. This is equivalent to exactly 24 pulls. For a filler patch, this is a fairly average amount, though not particularly generous. It's certainly not enough to guarantee a 5-star character unless you are already close to pity. For players who have the blessing of the Welkin moon, things look a bit better. The Welkin provides 90 Primogems per day, and over the 21 days of Phase 2, that adds an additional 1,890 Primogems to the total. This brings the grand total up to 5,730 Primogems, which translates to about 36 pulls. Overall, Phase 2 of version 5.4 is not the most rewarding phase in terms of Primogems, but it still provides enough to make a meaningful contribution toward your wishes. If you're planning to pull for Furina or Wriothesley, you can expect to gather about 24 pulls as a free-to-play player, or 36 pulls if you have Welkin. Not the biggest Primogem haul, but it's still something. Many players have been wondering why Phase 2 of version 5.4 feels so underwhelming when it comes to Primogem rewards. The amount of free Primogems available in this phase is significantly lower than in previous updates, leaving many players frustrated, especially those who are saving for Furina or Wriothesley. But why is this happening? There are a few key reasons why Phase 2 is so lacking, and it mainly comes down to the update's unlucky timing, its status as a filler patch, and the way Genshin Impact structures its banners. First, the timing of Phase 2 in this update is one of the worst possible positions for a banner. In most updates, Phase 1 tends to have more events, story quests, and sometimes even new exploration areas, all of which provide Primogems. However, because it's only a second phase, many of the major rewards have already been given out in Phase 1. Events that offered high amounts of Primogems, such as the main event of the patch, have already ended, meaning Phase 2 players are left with only the remaining minor events and standard rewards like daily commissions. Another major issue is that this patch is what players call a filler patch. In Genshin Impact, filler patches are updates that don't introduce a lot of new content, no major new areas, no Archon quests, and no game-changing mechanics. Instead, they are mainly used to set up future patches by bringing smaller events and reruns. The downside of filler patches is that they often come with fewer Primogems, simply because there isn't as much content to reward them. Unlike updates that introduce entirely new regions or long quest lines, filler patches rely on recycled content, which means fewer opportunities to earn free wishes. To make things even worse, the reset cycle of Primogem sources in this patch isn't favorable. Unlike some updates that have multiple Spiral Abyss and Imaginarium Theater resets, version 5.4 Phase 2 only has a single Spiral Abyss reset. That means players missed out on possibly thousands of Primogems that they could have received if the phase had fallen differently in the update cycle. Additionally, there's no reset for Paymon's shop, meaning there are no extra free pulls from the shop's monthly exchange. In contrast, some patches have Phase 2 positioned in a way that lines up with multiple resets, effectively increasing the amount of Primogems available. But in this case, Phase 2 has landed in one of the worst possible spots. Overall, the combination of unlucky timing, filler patch status, and the limited reset cycle has made Phase 2 of version 5.4 one of the least rewarding phases in recent memory. However, the good news is that version 5.5 is looking much stronger in terms of Primogems. With a new map expansion and a highly anticipated special program coming up, we can expect the next update to provide far more rewards than what we're getting in this phase. If you're feeling disappointed by the low Primogem count right now, just remember that a bigger and better patch is right around the corner. Good luck to everyone wishing in Phase 2. Let me know in the comments if you're pulling for Furina, Wriothesley, or saving for future banners. And if you don't want to miss out on any new Primogem sources, make sure to subscribe so you always stay updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.